Alright, listen, finding an open world game under 100 megabytes is basically black magic. I don't know who's compressing these games, and don't ask why. They just exist. And we've got 15 offline of these open world games like Grand Theft Auto that are scientifically guaranteed to make you question reality.
The only way we're gonna get through this?
Alright, first of all, number 1. Gangs of Miami crime shooter is basically Max Payne meets Vice City. It's an offline crime type of cover shooter where you play as a couple, actually two up-and-coming gangsters that are rising from street nobodies to mafia bosses. Lots of shooting, lots of shifting, some intense shootouts, and missions that actually go from bank robberies to gang wars. Each character has its own unique mechanics, and your gear levels up as you do. Great visuals, good boss fights, pure action vibes. If you're into gritty shooter campaigns with a side of drip, this one's definitely calling. Infinite Lives at number 2 is quite a bit like Grand Theft Auto, except everyone's a part-time superhero. Think of it as an open world madness of a Grand Theft Auto game, but like with some hints of Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm not even talking about the classes, just the magic and all the mayhem. You're gonna be dealing with physics all day where you can bust into a wall, climb a skyscraper, steal a tank, and just walk around the city if you wanna just witness what everyone else is causing. You can actually build your own region, pick your own powers, switch allegiances and unlock gears, and make every run feel like a highlight reel. Combat's pretty messy. It is one of those unpredictable games where you cannot even chill for a minute. Pretty on point. It's got hundreds of characters, weapons, and a huge sandbox. It's offline friendly as well. Up next at number 3, it is Extreme Bike Sim. Maybe the ultimate open world bike and sim game that's just made for low-end devices. Now first of all, it's actually set in a huge open world with city streets and airport runways where you step in as a biker that's just ready to push. You choose your motorbike, perform tricks through traffic, race against time while mastering bike physics and its handling. You get a garage where you can unlock new motorcycles, customize the details, pick a rider, your helmet, and just get obsessive over motor sounds and different camera views. It's a pretty fast game, extreme, satisfying, definitely want to ride anytime, anywhere if you like bikes. Now, Robbery Sim is actually a mobile spin-off of the hit Thief Simulator, and it really nails the mix of stealth, offline play included, and the reason it's even in the list is because you've got a lot of freedom, but in first-person view, of course. You start small, like swiping toasts and stuff, and then you level up to robbing mansions that are just all packed with much more valuable items. You start by hijacking security systems, outsmarting alarms so you can enter, and then you actually study the habits of your targets to plan the perfect heists and not get caught. You can actually even trade your loot on internet and unlock new tools and skills as you climb the criminal ladder. Pretty slick game and actually pretty addictive. With that being said, at number 5 we have the game Dune Barrens, which is a type of video game that really proves sometimes doing nothing is exactly the kind of game you need. No enemies, no quests, no stress, just wandering around, gliding in a whole wide Dune universe to capture. World's empty, soothing, perfect for when you've had enough of mobile action and noise. It's a game that doesn't demand anything from you, basically, and instead lets you explore at your own pace and just exist. It's minimalist, peaceful, and pretty addictive, and in its being simple, Dune Barrens is a game that says, leave me alone and just look at this. And it's actually coming from a very hard-working developer as well. Project Jazz on mobile, however, for those of you who missed it so far, is like if someone shoved Mirror's Edge, Assassin's Creed games, parkours, and Streets of Rage into a blender and kind of took them back a tiny little bit in time. Where you're going to be running on rooftops, fire escapes, and just spinning every single alley into a fighting playground. Combat flows well, Monumentum is your weapon, and the ragdoll physics make your actions feel pretty satisfying. In nature, it's actually an open world type of going up game, but like with enough action to go right up there with games like Spider-Man. NPCs react, it's fast, it's fluid, and even the open world actually rewards creativity instead of just looking pretty. It's kind of a free-running game that's done just right. Bootable online, playable offline. This one's basically Skyrim as a wolf, but it's somehow on mobile. You start alone, you start hunting rabbits, you grow a pack that's essential, you get gray, black, different wolves to help you hunt. The world's actually decently big, you've got seasonal changes, rival attacks, and you feel a little bit like the survival game Forest. The combat's simple though, but pretty satisfying if you like being top predator. Grindy, yes of course, with free, and the social alliances make it almost like a MMO. So if you've ever wanted to just be the alpha without paying a dime, this game's also bootable online, but playable offline. On another neck of the woods, we've got over here the very underrated game Excavator City Builder, which is just one of those games where you spend half the time digging and the other half wondering why all this is so damn satisfying. You're gonna be hopping between different machines, cranes, dump trucks, and whatever else this job gives you to handle. Doing simple tasks like moving rocks, landing sand, and fixing up broken corners. It's not a flashy game by all means, but the controls and the physics are pretty solid. I mean, solid enough that scooping dirt feels legitimately satisfying. If you like slow, steady, operate heavy machinery without a license in an open world, this actually scratches that itch very well. It's basically therapy for people who enjoy constructions.
Game about a tiny spider with big dreams.
A Webbing Journey is the kind of mobile game that should belong in your library if you are just looking for an open world game. Look, here you play as a spider, turning a house into a playground with webs, swings, and vehicles. In fact, the sandbox mechanics are so smooth and so damn intuitive that lets you just get creative with it, or just mess around for fun. It's equally relaxing and engaging. There's no timers, no pressure, just pure freedom. It's offline, and it really nails that satisfying play how you want type of vibe. If you're into casual creativity with a hint of adventure, this one is a easy pick up and play win. Now on the other hand, at number 10, Audio Life Simulator kind of surprises you by being genuinely fun, despite its premise, where you're delivering food, passengers, and packages of course through a city that actually feels alive. Traffic, shortcuts, and busy streets tend every run-in with tiny little puzzle timing and choices. Suffice it to say, it's a pretty addictive game without being punishing, and the open world design gives you freedom to just experiment or grind for efficiency. Simple mechanics, surprisingly satisfying, and perfect for short or longer sessions. Nothing flashy, nothing complicated, it's just a well-crafted daily grind type of game that makes the mundane feel like an actual skill. Now with that being said, Urban Food Delivery Game nails that old classic one more delivery loop just the same. The kind that you really don't even want to resist. You start small, pretty cheap, low tips where everyone's about beating the clock, finding better routes and keeping the food hot. In fact, the game is all about speed and efficiency, but there's also strategy where you can upgrade your ride, manage routes, and staying sharp through intersections. It's a pretty simple game, satisfying, very addictive. The city feels alive and the controls are tight enough to make every close call rewarding. And for anybody who likes that grind meets skill balance, this one's definitely worth the time. Let me just say, despite being a game that's as big as the open world console game, Horror Tale the Witch is just the best in its trilogy, at least story-wise. I mean, look, this game is as if like Hello Neighbor finally grew up and started unpacking its trauma. Besides, it actually benefited of an open world game where we could technically call it a survival open world classic. The scares land, it's creepy, a little sad, weirdly wholesome, especially in the story. It's like watching your childhood drama all coming out the surface and starting to apologize. So definitely one of the most underrated mobile games of all time. 2025 could easily give this one a heck of a lot more attention. You might have noticed so far that there are maybe over 100 different Prisonscape games, but this one specifically is legitimately the master. I mean, look, it's kind of like the Shawshank Redemption of all the prison movies, but in mobile games. It just makes everything about being in a prison satisfying in all the right ways. You start as a little nobody with a dream and just a spoon, and slowly turning this prison into a playground. Every guard's pattern matters, every trade's a gamble, and like one stupid move gets you back to reality. It's stealthy, addictive. Think of it as a mix of Hitman and Grand Theft Auto. Except this game is free, offline, and already downloaded over 10 million times. Obviously, we had to include a zombie game in the list, and for that matter, we've got Zombie Hunt Apocalypse, which is basically what happens when your phone decides to turn into an arcade zombie machine. There's no plot, no drama, just pure brain splattering therapy. You choose a gun, blast off hands, legs, heads, and just keep repeating it until you're in need of a break. Pretty satisfying. Somehow never gets old, the graphics are sharp, the zombies are uglier than your ex's TikTok filters, and best of all, it's offline. No microtransactions, just you and a never-ending supply of things to blow. This game is simply perfect. Tiny little downloads, huge ambition. In fact, Takashi Ninja Samurai game here somehow crams Ghost of Tsushima vibes into a mobile, and it actually pulls it off. Skill-heavy combat, dodging, countering, a huge world to explore, and some Assassin's Creed elements. It's got great boss fights. On top of all that quality, it partially works as an open world and is offline. For crying out loud, this game actually works with a controller. The story is no filter, it really works. Offline grind sessions without feeling cheap or empty. In short, it's not reinventing the genre, but it's that rare mobile game that makes you feel like a legitimate ninja. We've got number 16, the game Gangster, which actually for once brings a pretty neat fresh face to the old Grand Theft Auto formula. Throwing you in the streets of Los Angeles, where the open world gameplay is quite impressive for a free game. And it's actually less than just a few hundred megabytes in total. We've got heists, super engaging gang wars and empire building elements, and despite being offline, this game actually offers a rich action-packed adventure with some smooth controls and a big city to explore. And though it might not be as polished as a console part of a Grand Theft Auto per se, it's a damn fine good mobile game to play on the go, for free. And last but not least, this one's basically Grand Theft Auto Mobile but with extra caffeine and nothing chill about it. Pitting you in a city that's about one bad decision away from anarchy. You start as a broke nobody and you gotta climb your way up to a full-blown kingpin. Jack cars, pull off heists, survive police chases that actually escalate very fast, and just start ruling the streets one bullet at a time. In fact, there's a full day and night cycle, tons of weapons and a police system that actually makes you sweat, plus controller support. And two things. First off, as this was actually a bonus game in the list, this is by no means a small game. It takes you about 2 gigabytes and it's actually playable online. Thanks for watching as always, and honestly what I would really love now is that if you'd actually play an open world game with a really low size and some good quality, let me and everybody else know about it down in the comments and I'll tag you. That being said, I'll see you again tomorrow.